we have a general topic.
Okay. We're against the proposed law of eliminating smoking.
So we think that adults should be able to make their own decisions. If we made this bill into a law, it would take away some people's rights to freedom.
Some people have been smoking their whole life, and it's really hard for them to quit. And also, people in this generation don't really smoke, so this law would be kind of a waste because no one's really doing it. This law isn't really preventing anything from happening. Most people that have smoked are either adults and have quit or are deceased.
And something to add to that, if like, but if like you're only adults are smoking, the kids won't create a new generation after them that will smoke. So.
And one thing, this is adding on to that making this law might actually lead to bigger problems.
Yeah.
Because it's like the people without jobs, then they'll have to, how will they get insurance and stuff? And then that leads to free health insurance, and it would just create a disaster. It'd be a huge problem.
And also it would lead to more drugs, because like if people give up tobacco, then they might go to alcohol every single day. Because some people do at least 2 cigarettes a day. That means they can do alcohol at any time they want to. And also adults, like, they make the choice to smoke, so some people don't smoke and then some people do, and sometimes it makes them happy. So it's also taking away the right to happiness for them to be able to do what they want with their life.
And most people don't addictively smoke. They smoke in like small proportions.
Yeah.
Like at least like 1 cigarette a day would be the minimum.
Yeah.
Are you on?
Maximum.
Oh, wait, here.
Sorry.
He just has one more point.
And this bill also violates your right to liberty, because people already have the right to do this, and it would be taking away their rights, and that's unconstitutional.
Okay. So, just to say, I remember the Godfather clause. They would still, and even if we decided to take away the smoking, they could still smoke. And so the companies actually still would produce cigarettes, but only, but you would need to have already smoked first.
Yeah, and then can I say something about that? Sorry. So I know people's grandfathers have smoked, and then if their sons or grandfather's sons smoke, then it's kind of just a rotation. And but you're saying that the rotation will stop. How do you know that?
Well, like he said, Mr. Solar said that the wave is like really low right now, and they
explain that to the other groups, because I only explained it to the 2 groups
Oh,
over
yeah.
here.
So like
10 years ago?
Yeah, 10 years ago, there's a high. Teenagers were smoking a lot. And
Like older teens, it was more
yeah.
common than it is today. It's not a lot. It was never more than half.
And like now, it's not many people are doing it, and because now, like 10 years ago, they knew about it, but they just didn't really care. But now we know better.
Then they know it's like even worse.
Yeah, and then when they become parents, or the teenagers become parents, they'll teach their kids not to do that.
And one thing is that if there is a limit on like how old you have to be to smoke, like you can't be a 2-year-old smoking, and if and so if we stop smoking right now, then those people might like not get the chance to ever make their own choices.
And also, can I say something? So as you said, the wave stopped. How about if their parents were smoking and they're still smoking?
Whose parents?
If a parent that smokes lets their child to smoke, will it go on for more?
Well, like let's say in 20 years or 10, 15 years, there'll be even more awareness about smoking, and people will like stop that.
Well, then, if there's more awarenesses, then wouldn't they all come to an agreement that smoking is just pointless, so we should just ban it?
Well,
The thing
basically
is-
the law is pointless then.
Well, but a lot, like, millions of people die, and also, like, there's lots of littering all over,
Yeah.
and secondhand smoking, like, people can get, like, serious lung cancer.
This is one of the things that it's just a point. It is not. We did not prepare for this point, but it is that since there's a smaller amount of teens smoking right now, and people smoking in general, since people are aware that it's actually kind of, it is a bad thing for people to do. And but then, like, the people that are losing their jobs as tobacco farmers are people that farm, there are people that farm plants that are drugs, not like necessarily legal drugs,
And
but
another
drugs.
thing is, another point that we have, like, on yours comment you just made, like, it's their right to decide, and if the next generation decides, that's also fine, because they have the right to do that.
But if
Last round of comments.
So from the smoking, it could be, they could be littering when they're smoking from grabbing a box when they're done smoking it. How would you stop it? How would you stop everybody from littering?
You could just, there's some, like, things that you could put cigarettes in, like you see those on the sidewalk.
Yeah, but that-
Littering is
Not
again,
everywhere.
it escalates
I know.
more problems.
Yeah, wait, Sam.
Yeah.
You guys. Well, like, a few points is like I see I see people like putting the cigarettes on the ground, like stomping on them right next to those things, and they just completely ignore them sometimes. And it kind of influenced like when parents are smoking and like other people in the families smoking, it kind of influences the child to smoke. Cause like I've seen like kids like who like cause like kids might be like curious and like why their parents do it so much. Cause I've seen like kids take I've seen kids trying to smoke and like taking their parents' cigarettes.
And I feel like kids
Kiddos, that was the last thing we had time for, so thank you very much for your time. And then the last group can come up.
Okay, guys,